Good morning. Welcome to our math lesson again. Today is Wednesday, April 8th, and we're going to be working on math lesson 7-4, and that's pages 207 and 208. We're going to do the first four problems together on page 207. So if you want to hit pause and go get that page and your pencil, you can do that. Or you can pause when we get to that point because we're going to talk about time to the half hour for a little bit. So again, page 207 and a pencil. If you want to go get those things, just hit pause and go get them, and you can come back and get started. All right, here we go. So the last 2 days, we went over telling time to the hour on two different kinds of clocks. So we're just going to review a couple things. So my question for you is, what are the two types of clocks? What are the two types of clocks? So this kind of clock. Do you remember what we call this clock? Hopefully you do. And you said it is an analog clock. Analog clock. That's where we have to use the hour hand and the minute hand and figure out the time with the numbers in the hands. The other clock that's easier for us to read and that we see in our classroom, what's that one called? Can you remember? Yep, that one is a digital clock. Digital clock. All right, so again, we're still going to be working with the analog clock and the digital clock today, but more so the analog clock. That's a little trickier. The digital clock is really easy. We can just read the numbers. Okay, my next question is, there's two hands, the long hand and the short hand. So my question is, what is the long hand? Is the long hand the minute hand or the hour hand? And I'll let you look here. Is this long blue hand on my clock, it's blue, is that the minute hand or the hour hand? You should have said minutes. The long hand is the minute hand. And so that only leaves you one more option for the shorthand. The shorthand then is our hour hand. And if you remember my trick, remember the word minute is a longer word, so it's the long hand, and the word hour is a shorter word, so it's the shorthand. So, all right, here we go. So what's new today? Well, I already said we're going to learn to the half hour. So half hour means 30 minutes because half of an hour, which is 60 minutes, is 30 minutes. So if you had 30 plus 30, that would equal 60. So half an hour is 30 minutes. So on our digital clock, we would write those 30 minutes here to the right side of the colon. So this, my example, was 2:30. On an analog clock, we're gonna find out that the long minute hand's gonna come down at the 6 to show 30 minutes. And we're also gonna have to talk about what you do with that short hour hand, okay? So we're gonna take a look here at my clock so that we can figure this out. So we're gonna start with showing 1 o'clock. Okay, this is what we practiced the last 2 days, telling time to the hour, so this is 1 o'clock. So now we're going to go to 1:30. So that means this blue hand is going to start moving. In the last 2 lessons, it didn't. It stayed up at the 12. So that means we have to count by fives, okay? Do you see how this counts by fives, okay? So some of you, you might not be sure how to count by fives. So that might be something you need to practice at home with your family, is counting by fives, okay? My clock though, it has the numbers there, so you can just count along with us, okay? But you would start, we start at the 1, which is in red, but that really means 5 because it's really counting all these little dots, okay? But we skip count by 5s because it's quicker. So we would count 5, 10, remember we're looking at the blue numbers, 15, 20, 25, 30, okay? So now we are to 30 minutes, okay? Now I asked you to watch the blue hand and the blue numbers, okay? I'm gonna do it again, and I want you to watch the hour hand to see what happens to the hour hand as the blue minute hand is moving, okay? So this time we're focusing on the red hour hand, okay? Watch what it does as our time moves, okay? Watch the red hour hand. It's happening slowly. Okay, so what happened? Yep, it moved. The red hand moved just like the blue hand moved. So what is happening is time is passing on by, and as that happens, it is getting closer to 2 o'clock. So it was 1, now it's 1:30. So as the time's gonna continue to go around, it's going to be 2 o'clock soon. So watch. See how they're both moving? So now it would be 2 o'clock, okay? So when we write the time to half hour, we're not only going to put this long blue minute hand down here at the 6, which stands for 30 minutes, but the hour hand is going to move between 2 of these bigger numbers, okay? And sometimes that can be tricky when we have to figure out what time it is, okay? So we have to think it hasn't gotten to the 2 yet. So it could not be 2:30, because if it were 2:30, it would almost be 3. And this isn't even near the 3, okay? So it's still 1 because it hasn't even gotten to the 2 yet. So it's 1, and then to figure out how many minutes, remember we counted by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this shows 1:30, okay? All right, let me do a few more. I'm trying to see which ones aren't on your paper, so we're not repeating them. All right, here we go. So if we were to look at this time, okay, so some of us, we may need to count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, okay? Our minutes are 30. And then the hour hand, it's between the 3 and the 4. But you have to think, has it even made it to the 4 yet? Nope, so it's not even 4 o'clock yet. So if it's not 4 o'clock, it can't be 4:30. So that must mean it's still 3, and we know the minutes are 30, so this clock shows 3:30, okay? Now, just like in our last lessons, you guys remembered when this is on the 12, that means 00, it's a new hour, it's 4 o'clock. So some of you might already have it memorized that when this is on the 6, yep, that's 30 minutes, okay? But if not, that's what these numbers are here for, to help you count by 5s, okay? All right, let's do one more, and then we'll try it. We'll try some examples on the paper here. All right. All right, so look here. Okay, here we go. So again, our long minute hand is down here on the 6, okay? So we would count by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So our minutes are 30. Then we have to figure out the hour. So the hour hand is between the 11 and the 12. Has it made it to the 12 yet? Nope. So it can't be 12 because it's not even 12 o'clock yet. It's still 11, and it is 11:30. Okay? Good job. All right. So if you haven't gone to get your paper yet, go ahead and do that. We're going to start with page 207, and we're going to do the first 4 problems together. Okay? So what we have to do is look at the time. They have the hands moved for us, and we're going to write it on the digital clock. Okay? So if you're looking at number 1, the hour hand is between the 7 and the 8, and the minute hand is at the 6. So number 1 looks like this. So you can figure out the hour or the minutes first, whichever is easiest for you. Okay? So I like to figure out the minutes first because I know it's no longer a new hour, and I know time has passed by. So I do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So our minutes are 30, and those go to the right of that symbol. Yep, it's a colon. All right, and then to figure out the hour, it's between the 7 and the 8, okay? It's still 7. It hasn't moved to the 8 yet, so it hasn't even been 8 o'clock, so it certainly couldn't be 8:30. So it is still 7. So our hour is 7, and that shows 7:30. All right, let's look at number 2. We have the hour hand between the 5 and the 6, and the minute hand down on the 6. So again, starting with the minute hand, blue numbers, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you guessed it, our minutes are 30. And then we have to figure out that hour. So the hour hand is between the 5 and the 6. So if time kept going, it would be 6 here soon. But it is not 6 yet. It is still 5. And like we said, the minutes were 30. So this is 5:30. All right, number 3. Here shows the hour hand between the 8 and the 9, and the minute hand on the 6. So it looks like this. Okay, so again, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 tells us the minutes. And looking at the hour hand, it is between the 8 and the 9. If this keeps going, it will be 9 o'clock soon, but it's not 9 o'clock yet. It's still in the 8th hour. It's still 8, and we already figured out minutes 30. So we have to put an 8 for the hour. This clock shows 8:30. All right, number 4. The hour hand is between the 1 and the 2, and the minute hand is on the 6. Okay, so it looks like this. Again, we can figure out the minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And some of you might, by now, just already have that memorized, that that's 30 when it's at the 6. Okay, looking at the hour, it's between the 1 and the 2. If my clock were to keep going, it would soon be 2 o'clock, but it's not 2 o'clock yet. It is still 1. So our time here is 1:30. Okay, so what I want you to do is to finish the rest of this paper, page 207, and then the next page is page 208, okay? So go ahead and work on finishing those on your own. Remember, if you're having any trouble, you can ask the adults at your house to help you, or some older siblings might even be able to help you. Or if you want me to help you, just have your parents send me a message through Class Tag, and we can set up a Zoom, and I will help you. So great job today, boys and girls. I'll see you Thursday.